So, Stuart, this is going to be your 10th Weber Cup. You must be getting quite used to that special lane.
Yeah, I mean, 10. Wow. It feels like yesterday. I was born in, like, I think it was 2005.
Yeah.
I had 5-man teams then as well. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be cool. And hopefully we've got the fans in to cheer us on. Yeah, we need to reverse the American mojo that they've got built up.
Yeah, how are you going to go about doing that? Because it's been a couple of tough years for Team Europe.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to bowl, if Kyle and Anthony are going to bowl as well as they've bowled the last couple of years, it's obviously going to be extremely difficult. But you know, what goes up comes down, I guess, is the mantra that we're going to have to look at. And now it's gone to 5-man team. Obviously, Kyle and Anthony in particular, they're getting watered down a little bit. Whereas they were half the team, now they're only like 40% of the team. So that's definitely going to be something that we can, focus in on and just play our own game and try and get back on track.
Do you think going back to having 5 players on each team, is that something that might favour Team Europe for the reason you just mentioned?
Maybe, but I mean, the Americans have such a deep talent pool to pick from that I think maybe the more it gets, the more the Americans become favourites. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't come together as a group. I think that we understand our own personalities a little bit better because we spend much more time together than the American group do. And obviously throwing in an extra person makes it a little bit more difficult for them to control that.
And Stuart, I know when Europe had that run of unprecedented success, sort of up until 2 years ago, I know you like to give it out a little bit to the American players. Have they been giving it a little bit back the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, Kyle likes to chirp, but the rest of them not really. I mean, I do the show with Chris. We have our Beef and Barnsley show, and every now and again he likes to put a little dig in, and it's fine. I mean, he deserves it. They weren't going anywhere when he wasn't the captain, so I mean, he's getting old, so he's going to be going away soon.
So you just counting down the days, a few more years of Chris Barnes, and then it's back to European dominance.
Yeah, I mean, automatic European dominance as well.
Well, tell us a bit about Beef and Barnsley, because it's certainly something I've enjoyed watching over the summer. How did that come about?
Well, me and Chris, we were doing it. We did a couple of Facebook Lives separately, and then I read an article that said you could do Facebook Live with 2 people. So I'm like, well, this is cool, And I kind of thought, maybe I could do it with a guest each week or whatever. And then I spoke to Chris about it. And Chris was like, oh, yeah, we could do this. And so we kind of decided to make it a show. Well, we were on the show and we're like, it says you just click here and it works. And it didn't work. And I guess I didn't read down to the end of that article that says, this article is from 2017. We've now turned this feature off. So we ended up with a show that looked a little bit like this, with Chris on his laptop holding the phone up like this. So it was a bit of a debacle the first few episodes we did, but then we kind of found some software that allowed us to do it. And with the pandemic and everything, there was a lot of people who were starved of content. So we got a few guests on, and it really went from there. I mean, yeah, we had some Norm Duke was on. I mean, even Chris was nervous to have Norm Duke on. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've been doing it for probably about 9 or 10 weeks now, I guess. We've got a YouTube channel, Beef and Barnsley. Check it out. Hit the subscribe button. But yeah, we're trying to expand our content on both our pages as well. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of stuff with it.
Do you think that dynamic between you and Chris might change a little bit as we get a bit closer to October?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any Beef and Barnsley shows from the Weber Cup.
So switching back to the Weber Cup, what do you think's got to be different this year for Europe after obviously it not going so well the last 2 years?
Well, I think it didn't go well last time in England. I think the last match that we just played in the States, I think it was really close. It was closer than maybe the scores suggested. One strike here or there changed a couple of those matches really big, and America seemed to get all of those strikes, and that's what you do when you're great players. But I really think that it could have got pretty feisty if Anthony had missed, because I think Kyle might have beat Jesper one time out of a million in that match that was coming up after, when they did the fresh pattern and the pattern was really flat and everything. And then it would have been Dom against whichever one of their guys they put up. And yeah, I mean, Dom bowled a great game to take Jacob out the previous time round. So, you know, then, you know, you've got a completely different match. But, you know, as Simonson does, one of the best bowlers in the world, he got up and he threw the shot he needed, and he closed it out. But it really could have been a lot different. So I'm just looking for us to build on last time. And, you know, I think that we just got to stay positive. You know, we know as easily how these things can change. Now you can go on runs, and we just got to, you know, if America get on that run, we just got to take our time in those matches and not rush and get flustered.
And of course, Thomas Larsson joins the team this year. It's his debut. What can you tell us about Thomas?
Thomas is an extremely talented bowler. He can do a ton of different things with the bowling ball, and I know that was very attractive to Dom. Thomas is really good at going straight, and you know, he's got enough skills with speed and rotation and stuff to be able to hook it a lot as well. So we were excited to have him in. He's quite quiet. I saw him actually in his quotes chirping at the Americans about they better get some practice in. So that was good. But yeah, Thomas has 2 PBA titles, so he's definitely earned his spot. He could have probably played before now. So yeah, we're excited to have him aboard, and hopefully he can bring in that fresh energy. And you know, he hasn't got the scars of defeat the last couple of years either.
I'm always interested in your take, Stu, on the other team as well. And USA, they brought 2 players back who've been in the Weber Cup before. Bill O'Neill, who's got quite a bit of experience in it, and was having a great year on the PBA tour up until, of course, the shutdown. And EJ Tacker, who's played 1 Weber Cup, didn't really do himself justice, I think, by his own admission, but has been one of the very best players on tour for several years now. What do those guys bring to the team, do you think? Hopefully
a lot of L's. That's what they brought the last couple of times they played. So they're both great players. I mean, Bill's taken his game to a new level the last couple of seasons. He really broke down what he was doing and came back. And it's really difficult to do that, you know, when you're in the middle of a Hall of Fame career, to like commit to making as many changes as he did. And I take my hat off to him. I mean, he pulled great, but at the same time, you know, I'm sure Bill remembers the last time he was on the Weber Cup lane and he actually kept losing to me. So hopefully he's got that fresh in his memory. EJ, on the other hand, I don't think EJ really remembers yesterday, to be honest. He's pretty carefree. He just, you know, he's super talented. He gets up and does what he does, and he doesn't really let that many things worry him. So I don't think previous failure for EJ is really going to worry him too much.
And finally, Stu, I'd normally ask you for a message for Team USA, but I see you've got one written behind you.
Yeah, there we go. We yellow and blue equals green. So hopefully we can get back to making it rain on the Weber Cup lanes.
Awesome. Well, Stu, great to speak to you. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you in October back over here in England.
Sounds good. Hope to see you soon.